Well, good morning. It is good to see you all here. I am Major Chris Thornhill. My wife and I are the area commanders here for the Greater New Orleans area, and we are so pleased to have you here with us as we are celebrating the addition to our emergency services fleet through the partnership and gifting of the incredible people at Community Coffee. We want to thank you for the partnership and the good coffee. I've already had a couple of cups. Good. And so I may start talking faster because I'm going to go get some more. But we do thank you for being here. And the Salvation Army, as you know, we are not just an emergency services or a charitable service organization. We're also a religious organization. And for those of you who are comfortable, we invite you to join us as we open this time up in prayer. Father, we thank you for today, this beautiful day that you've given us to come and celebrate partnerships, friendships, and relationships with one another for the benefit of our communities. Bless us now. Bless the efforts of the Salvation Army in times of disaster, that when we are needed to go, we will have the capable equipment to do and go about our communities and in places where it may be hard to reach, but that's where you've called us to go. We thank you for the people of Community Coffee, the families of Community Coffee that have come together and said, we want to be part of this too. And we thank them, and we're thankful for you in pricking their hearts for the sake of mission and for the betterment of the people here in the Louisiana area. We praise you today. It is through Jesus we pray. Amen.
Of course, being that we want to do our very best in presentation, somebody always gives me a lot of things to say at events like this, and I appreciate those events, but this really is all the way from my heart, because in 2017, Hurricane Harvey, when I was stationed in Houston, took a very significant hit on Houston, and we went to work for a long time. It was probably it was probably the biggest effort of disaster services that the Salvation Army has done to this point. $125 billion worth of damage happened to that coast. The Army deployed over 96 feeding units, and we were busy doing the work of what we do best each and every day. Over 2.8 million meals were served in those days that I recall and remember very well. But the story begins there for me because I got a call that Community Coffee wanted to come and visit us. And this was the first time that I had met, and they had been a part of our services there. And I met this outstanding family, and some of them are standing here, Matt, that came and had a sincere heart for community. And it was at that time that we began our relationship working together with Community Coffee. One of the things that I remember also is, and I can follow this track back to 2019, we were called to serve Hurricane Laura that hit in Lake Charles, that did significant damage to that area. And I remember we were out doing some work and checking out the surroundings of the community. And I remember going down the highway, and I just, at the right side of my eye, I saw Community Coffee building there. I saw their building, and I saw their workers that were over around doing some things. They were like everybody else in the community picking up. So when I got back to where our command post was, I'm like, hey, let's go check on Community Coffee and see if they need our help or if they need any services from the Salvation Army, meals or whatever that we would be able to provide. Well, I want you to know about your family in Lake Charles, because when we went over to check them, of course, everything was fine, everything was great except these banners, and everything was doing really well for them as far as they were concerned. I mean, there was complete devastation surrounding them. And here they were trying to pick up the pieces, and then they basically, were just trying to make things happen for their business. And you were affected also in that storm. I promise you, it wasn't an hour later that those Community Coffee employees, and I'll remember, had showed up to serve us coffee and provide for us in so many ways, and then help us help others with those cups of coffee. So that's heartfelt. That's genuine. And when you look on your, of course, I did my homework. at Community Coffee, we don't just make great coffee. We want to pull out the greatness of people and the goodness of people. And I think that fits right along with the work of the Salvation Army. Of course, who wouldn't want a cup of coffee of that, right? And then it talks about values on their website. And this is right where I loved it, and it really hit home for all of us. It talks about integrity, passion, commitment, and family. That's what this is, family. And when we see Community Coffee, and when I see Community Coffee, I instantly think about family. So thank you for continuing your legacy through the work that your father started, the Siraj family. And Matt, you're doing amazing work, so hats off to you. Thank you for being a part and partnering with the Salvation Army, that we can continue to give hope and to help to so many people that we come in contact with, to sign, speak the journey that we've been on together. And we're so blessed that we're able to serve and share with you. And you're continuing the great work by helping us in the days to come. Now, particularly, I hope there are long days or a long ways from here, but when it hits, we'll be ready to serve. And Community Coffee will be right there with us, and we're very thankful and blessed for that. So we love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your mission of your company and what all of your employees demonstrate each and every day. Service above self. We appreciate that, and thank you so much, and God bless you. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Will Trueblood, who is our EDS Director, Emergency Disaster Services Director, and he's made a lot of these things happen. He's outstanding. He's just came on board, and he's done amazing work down here in the New Orleans, Houma, and Baton Rouge area. And under his leadership, we have been able to do some great things. So we're very appreciative. And Will, I'll turn this podium over to you at this time. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Major. Good morning. My name is Will Trueblood, and like he said, I am the Divisional Disaster Director for the ALM Division. 3 months. 3 months was how long I was on the job before Hurricane Ida hit. So I had a short learning curve, but I had to hit the ground running. And I just wanted to say that nothing in my time with disaster work, nothing in my time on active duty, in any of the things I've done really prepared me for some of the things that I saw and some of the things I experienced when I was down here for Hurricane Ida. And I just want to say that it wasn't just disaster that I saw. It was also people coming together. It was a community serving each other. It was Louisiana coming together to work. It was people driving in from all across the country to donate goods and to care for one another. It was such a heartfelt thing to see. It wasn't just a disaster. It was more than that. And when you look around and you see what everyone was giving and doing, it just makes you so proud to be part of it. And I'm proud to have that partnership with Community Coffee, and I want to thank them for what they're doing, because it's donations like this. It's the blue sky donations that allow us to do things like revitalizing our fleet so that we can continue to serve and help other people. Because of this donation, we're going to be able to purchase 3 of these units that you see behind me. And these units are going to be directly used here in Louisiana to help serve the needy population and the vulnerable population during disasters. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all 3 of you, Matt, Donna, Jeff. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys are doing. We appreciate it. I'd like to thank you all for coming out, and I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Brooks. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Pastor Joseph Brooks, a pastor of the Greater Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church down in Plaquemine Parish. I also serve as Dean of the Union Baptist College and Theological Seminary, and also I'm a professor at another seminary, which means I'm a very busy man, but I realize that I'm not as busy as the Salvation Army. When I received the invitation to come here today, not only did I needed to come, but I wanted to come, because prior to Hurricane Ida, I had not given the Salvation Army a whole lot of consideration. But when our people were driven from their homes, their community, with virtually their clothes on their backs, and these great people of God showed up with all of their supplies and all of the hard work you've done in such an organized manner, I realized it was not just work, it was a ministry that the Lord had put in your heart. And how y'all worked so hard out there in that hot sun, and y'all that fulfilled the mandate of Jesus Christ. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was out of doors, you took me in. When I was naked, you clothed me. So on the behalf of the Ironton community and the surrounding area, we just want to express our deep appreciation for the ministry that y'all have given us, and also the community cause. God bless you and God keep you.
Well, I'm seldom at a loss for words, but this is really quite an honor, and I really appreciate all the things that were just said about the people and the staff and volunteers of the Salvation Army and their effectiveness, but also the value that they give to a relationship with simple people like us and the people we represent. My mother, Donna Siraj, and brother Hank Siraj, and myself are part of the Community Coffee family. It's not our family business, it's many families' business. And from all of them, I just want to say thank you. You know, coffee is a wonderful thing. It brings comfort, brings warmth. It does more than that. You know, for Community Coffee, we like to bring joy to people who serve their communities, to those who really support their communities and go above and beyond to create the environment that we are able to enjoy every day. And like a beautiful day like today. Today it's easy. Today it's a great day to be here, to be with Salvation Army, to be part of Community Coffee. But it's those days when the clouds are dark and when the real trials test who we are, both as individuals and as companies, but also the strength of relationships that can be formed in times like that. So, you know, Hurricane Ida was one of many storms that really tested our company. We had to provide for our employees and our customers as best we could. Even the simple things like the Reverend spoke to of just a place to get warm and dry and to eat. And for us, it was quite a challenge. But we see our employees as our family, we see our customers as our family, and then we see those who are supporting their community as part of a greater part of the Community Coffee family, and that's where the Salvation Army and many others come into play. And we believe that we can support first responders, we can support volunteers, we can provide something, even if it's just a cup of coffee, in a way that says we're behind you, we care, we want to be part of this effort. And we want to thank you for what you're doing. And that outreach is something that's been part of Community Coffee for a very long time. You know, we share something in common. We're multi-generational organizations. We're over 100 years old, and we're continually learning. We're continually forming new relationships and reaching out and trying to do things better and wiser. So in the midst of all this chaos of Hurricane Ida in this case, we came together and we had a campaign together, it's Louisiana Strong. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here. You know, yeah, the coffee is strong, the people are stronger. And part of this campaign was to generate awareness and funds of not only the needs, but of what was going on good in our community, and to raise funds that could support the Salvation Army long-term and locally here. So we're very proud of the fact that we were able to raise and provide, you know, $250,000 that's going to go into this marketplace, in this community, and be expressed through these very valuable vehicles, these assets that will serve our community and serve our neighbors for many years to come. So we're thankful for the opportunity. We really are. You know, at Community Coffee, we see relationships as being very long-term. They weren't created yesterday. They were created a couple of years ago through Houston, and even before the storm, through flooding and a lot of other trials. But they last a lifetime. They can last a very, very long time. They can do great work. So we're just proud to be able to be recognized, be part of this on behalf of my family and all the families that make Community Coffee who it is in this community. Just want to thank you. We're glad to be involved, and we're proud of our relationship with Salvation Army. Now with that, I think we go on to the most exciting part. This did not blow away. This is the official check presentation. Now, I don't think we can bring this to the bank and cash it. And I think events like this, promoting the good things that are happening are...
The Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi division is a large area to cover. And so when it comes to recovery, we have to be able to get there quickly, or else what's going to happen is you're going to have vulnerable populations and needy people that aren't going to have the things that they need just to go to bed comfortably at night. And so being able to reach austere locations, you know, when you're talking about a unit in Baton Rouge, but a tornado happens in Birmingham, we need a safe, reliable unit that can travel all the way from Louisiana across Mississippi and into Alabama in order to reach those people. And this gift is going to allow us to be able to do that, to have those safe, reliable vehicles to make sure that those people have what they need.
Well, I do believe that all efforts should be local. And so to the extent that we can give and have partnerships that do serve locally in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi to enable them with these vehicles, with these resources to be there at a time of need. You know, hope is on its way, and Community Coffee and Salvation Army working together in these regions is very important to us and all the families that are Community Coffee Company.
We're so excited because this partnership has began around, I think it was like 2016 with the Salvation Army. And then I came across the relationship when I was the area commander in Houston for Hurricane Harvey, which was a huge impact on the Texas Gulf or Texas coast. So from there, they came into my life, and I felt instantly that, hey, this was a partnership made in heaven. So because of their values of their company and their employees and how much their employees care about others, I think I said it earlier, you know, service above self, and so they practice that, and what a great partnership for the Salvation Army, because we can give out that great cup of coffee because they want to bring out the best in people. We can give them that cup of coffee, and then we can tell them about our mission and about, hey, do you know Jesus? Or we can pray with you. It just opens all kinds of conversations, and it starts with a cup of coffee. So, hey, we're so blessed and fortunate that we have this relationship with Community Coffee, and their employees and their customers realize the importance. They're still helping us with these new vehicles that we're being able to be. They're part of our fleet now, and we're just excited about what we're going to see in the days to come. So, hey, it's a great partnership.
The Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi division is a large area to cover. And so when it comes to recovery, we have to be able to get there quickly, or else what's going to happen is you're going to have vulnerable populations and needy people that aren't going to have the things that they need just to go to bed comfortably at night. And so being able to reach austere locations, you know, when you're talking about a unit in Baton Rouge, but a tornado happens in Birmingham, we need a safe, reliable unit that can travel all the way from Louisiana across Mississippi and into Alabama in order to reach those people. And this gift is going to allow us to be able to do that, to have those safe, reliable vehicles to make sure that those people have what they need.
Well, I think you truly see a community strength in times of challenge and times of needs, where individuals come to support others, to volunteer, and really just it's part of the values a community holds that glue, you know, that holds that community together, where they support each other and they're willing to give at, you know, to any extent to make things through together as a community.
Well, I think this is the beginning because we're really leaning and looking at this direction to keep replenishing our fleet. We were able to really, our fleet's being updated from Katrina days, and so Katrina was a huge impact for this whole division. So we can move forward with that, and this is sunshine for us. It's a breath of fresh air. So we're going to be able to take these units and move forward and do more service, get into those smaller areas that we really can't drive the large canteens in, and it'll help us to get more mobile into the communities so that we can also show service above self. And that's what the Salvation Army is about also.
Well, the VRUs can generally serve between 750 to 1,000 meals, and what they're doing is they're moving away from the canteen units, so where we're cooking our own food, because a lot of our partners, like the Southern Baptist and OBR, some of the other partners we work with, they are generally cooking our food now. And so what this is allowing us to do is it's allowing us to move to more of a response to serve. So instead of cooking, we're going to be able to put the Cambros right on here and immediately begin services and be able to transport them to remote locations, as well as being easier for anybody to drive.
You know, I think of my own hometown, and times of need or disasters, you know, that's when I need help, and there's a natural desire to give that assistance to others in their times of need. It's kind of a human nature thing, but more than that, it's the character, it's the values of our company. You know, my great-grandfather, when he found this company, named it Community Coffee. He really valued his community so much, or what they did for him and what he could do for them in return.
Blue sky partnerships are extremely important. During the stormy skies, the people who want to give always come out and they give, and it's such a wonderful blessing. But during blue skies, it's much harder to find donors because the donors forget about disasters and it becomes an afterthought. But it's that time that we need to do things like purchase new supplies. We need to upgrade equipment. We need to make sure our warehouse has everything on hand, is stored and stocked and ready for the next disaster. When the disaster hits, the donors may give, but it may be too late to purchase the things that we need as soon as that happens. So the blue sky donors allow us to think and plan ahead and to have those supplies ready and available so when disaster strikes, we can respond within the first 24 hours.
The Salvation Army, very much like Community Coffee, has a very clear purpose, to give hope, to serve all, to love all, to be there, to be a resource, an avenue of when those are in the greatest of need. Salvation Army and Community Coffee share something very common in that they both understand the value of serving others and engaging others in their work. And I think that engaging others in that way is something that's very difficult and very valued and long-lasting. In our case, over 100 years, and for the Salvation Army, 100 years plus. So this relationship between the two companies, I believe, will serve many people for a very long time.
When the Salvation Army hits the ground on times of disaster, we're always looking for partners to come alongside us in the midst of disaster. It's wonderful to have a partner like Community Coffee to come alongside us before disaster, so we're already ready and already have that relationship together. It just makes sense for the Salvation Army and Community Coffee to work together. They serve coffee, we serve people, they serve people. It just makes sense. And so with Community Coffee coming alongside us and with the incredible donation of $250,000 to help us with quick transit units that we have right behind me, it's going to make us have an even deeper impact in the areas that we serve.
I look forward to building a relationship with them because I think that all of the work that's done in disasters, it's done relationally. People are helping other people because they want to connect with them on some level and help someone else. And so I look forward to building those relationships so we can help their community and they can help their community.
Well, I do believe that all efforts should be local. And so to the extent that we can give and have partnerships that do serve locally in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi to enable them with these vehicles, with these resources to be there at a time of need. Hope is on its way, and Community Coffee and Salvation Army working together in these regions is very important to us and all the families that are Community Coffee Company.
Corporate sponsorships for us, particularly like Community Coffee and our partners in the Birmingham TV station, that's helped us raise money and support for the work of the Salvation Army, that we can give out and do all these wonderful things, the food boxes, the meals, the hugs, the coffees, the drinks, all that we do, the bottle of water that helps them sustain, and also the prayer and the thoughts that we love you. We're not leaving. We're here in this community to serve others, and we're going to be here walking this journey with you each and every day. So, it's just great, and we need partners like that. We have a lot of wonderful partners that come alongside us that helps the work of the Salvation Army.